Warning. The language used on The Real Rush may be offensive to some viewers. Don't say I didn't fucking warn you.
Start spreading the news. We broadcasting tonight. Yo, man, John Dub is here with a fucking real rush. 'Cause you've waited all week so you could kick up your feet and get your infotainment on with John fucking Doe. Yeah! Bang your head to the opening riff.
Shut up and sit down.
What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Eat some beans up out the can. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Make yourself a hungry man. What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Country fried steak or chicken? What you gonna do when the boogaloo comes? Sit your ass on down and watch The Real Rush. What's up, y'all? What's happening? How was everybody July 4th and everything? They even come back. Wait a minute. Are we still? Wait a minute. What's today? So yeah, that was last weekend. It's been this week has been felt a little bit of a stretch, I suppose. Hence my hesitation there. Yet no, that's not a digression at all. 'Cause it's a stretching of time. Somebody's been fucking with the continuum, man. That ain't good. That ain't good. We gotta put an end to that shit right there. Shit's starting to look all stretched out and everything, man. I could go for some zebra cakes. 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 Zebra cakes and beefsteak. Oh, yeah. Zebra cake, zebra cake, zebra cake, beefsteak. Zebra cake and beefsteak. Which one do you eat the first? The boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It really can't all be that worst. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Do you eat the dessert before the entree? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Maybe not all the time, but you will today. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's gonna be zebra cake and beefsteaks, 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 zebra cake, zebra cake, zebra cake, zebra cakes, and beefsteaks. Zebra cake and beefsteaks. So yeah, July 4th was just last weekend, which means I hope that everybody has come back, in the same way that they left. You didn't blow anything off over the weekend, since there was nothing else to do but either do that and watch Hamilton like I told y'all to do last weekend, which I don't know if it was because of my doing, but a lot of people watched that shit last weekend and still watching that shit up through tonight, probably, I don't even know. It's late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, early Sunday, July 12th, 2K20, as we film this. And it's your man, Movie Boogaloo, Champion, John Dub, coming at y'all with episode 94 of The Real Rush, right here on YouTube. Thank you to everybody tuning in, hoping that this episode is finding y'all as safe and healthy as y'all can possibly be. And if you ain't, hopefully this episode is finding you on the way, on the, on the road to the men's, on the road to mending whatever it is that ails you. So just be cool and yeah, get through your shit. So yeah, we got a lot of shit to talk about this week here, y'all. But first thing I got to pop off right from the getty up of this episode. There is a new web miniseries. Ithaca. Written, produced, directed, edited, composed, and starring my man's Jay Saunders. First 2 chapters are out right now. I don't even want to give too much away about it, like plot-wise or anything. Except for zombie horror. And that should get you hooked. Because we've been in that genre for quite a while. But Ithaca brings something new to the game here, y'all. Remarkably shot. I first watched it on Ziggy here. Watched chapter 1 right here on Ziggy. Looked beautiful just on the phone. Then popped it up on the insanely expensive Rushtron 9000 here. Watched chapter 1 again, then watched chapter 2. Joint looks like, it looks better than some shit that I've seen at the Angelica, at any theater that you could throw up there. So the cinematography is on point. I almost forgot this part. Ithaca, as I just stated, I watched on Ziggy, I watched on the Rushtron 90 million. I can only imagine what it would look like on a theater screen. That's how good it looks. That's how good it looks. Back to my mini review of Ithaca. Check it out on YouTube. The name of the channel where you can find my man's is called Man in the Arena. That is the name of Jay Saunders' channel here on YouTube, and that is where you can find Ithaca now streaming, y'all. Peep it. And Real Rush golf clap going out to my man Jay Saunders. It's awesome to see another St. Jude peep doing that thing, still doing that thing. Yeah. So check that joint out as soon as possible. Not right now, because I need y'all to stick with me through the rest of episode 94. But yeah. Other news, Cinemark, I originally reported last week they were going to start reopening on July 31st. It looks like that they're actually bumping up a week and possibly opening some theaters on July 24th. So that's one thing. And reported by iHorror.com via Deadline, there have been a bunch of horror movie release date jump arounds here, and the breakdown goes this way. So Candyman was originally set to drop on September 25th. That has now been dropped, or will now drop, on October 16th. That was originally supposed to be the release date of Halloween Kills, which has now been pushed back to October 15th, 2021, which means that the final installment in the new chapter of the Halloween franchise, Halloween Ends, has now been pushed even further back to October 14th, 2022. And one more hit. Final installment of Forever Purge. It's been set to come out on July 9th, 2021, so I guess that was supposed to come out this year, either that or I'll check on that and we'll fix that in post via whatever means necessary. So yeah, that's what we got going on there, y'all. But as far as movie reviews go, we got 5 new joints reviewed for y'all here this weekend. I think I started off. What did we say last week? Gonna be a possible 4, and we came up with 5. Outscored ourselves again. Another one up on the chalkboard. 2 up on the chalkboard for my now official Marlon Jackson level fro. A couple more steps, maybe another inch or so. Get this motherfucker permed out, and then perhaps I can finally land that part of Hunter Q. Robbins III in the ECW biopic. That would be some dope shit. If there's an ECW biopic going on out there. I'm shooing Hunter Q. Robbins III. Let's get down some movie reviews, y'all. Let's kick off our 5 movie tickets this weekend here. Episode 94 of The Real Rush. With the new, I don't know why I felt like going into a William Shatner thing there. The new Netflix joint. Based off, I didn't even know which way I wanted to go with that. That's how much it crossed me up. Because this shit did kind of cross me up. The new Netflix joint called The Old Guard. This joint is the new action thriller starring Charlize Theron. Now, what you gotta do is do boogaloo. Keep that gum down on your shoe. You don't want that touching your food. That'll put you in a very bad mood. Now when you get your zebra cake, you put it on your fork and then you hit your plate. And you peck it like a stork and then you savor it so much that you won't want to spit it on out. You're gonna just have to let it go down. You go lit now, good lit now, good lit now. Good lit now, good lit now, good lit now, good lit now, good lit now. Chunk, chunk, zebra cakes and beefsteaks. Yeah, so Charlize Theron, as the group leader of immortal mercenaries who fight to protect their secret while discovering that there is a new immortal somewhere in the world now amongst them, who's just learned of her healing abilities. Yeah. This joint is directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. It is based on the comic book by Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez. This joint is bad ass, y'all. Peep this up on the insanely expensive Rush Trine 9 million just yesterday morning. I originally called it on my Instagram Move It Check-In as it occurred. I called it X-Men Meets Wanted. And while it doesn't necessarily land on that observation, it doesn't land far from it. And the way that it went, the way that it ricocheted when it landed, but it did or it didn't hit the mark maybe. I don't know. It hits the mark, but it doesn't land directly on X-Men Meets Wanted. Alright? It just misses a little bit off of that. But it's a good miss, is what I'm trying to say here. It went towards good territory. It went towards something else that it needed to wreck the shit out of. And that's what it did. Because it's all X-Men Meets Wanted with a twist. So it's like, yeah, skewed off of the fucking direct hit. It's boom, bah. Know what I'm saying? You don't know what the hell I'm saying. You know why? Because I don't know what the hell I'm saying, man. That's why. So Charlize Theron, not gonna black out this time. We already know. She's always kicking ass. Especially, well, she's always kicking ass in general, but especially in like her kick-ass roles. She's always kicking ass. Certainly no different here, but that doesn't mean that it's the same old kick-ass Charlize Theron. It's Charlize Theron kicking ass, but as a different character. So if she could just, that's all. I mean, to be fluid between that many kick-ass action characters, that's some fucking skill to make them not look the same or too similar to each other. That's fucking skill. So, and yeah, they're on and kicking ass in a different way in the acting sense, just from that right there. So bake that shit on your noodle there. The action scenes in them are all killer. That's the pun definitely intended point here of our show. There are definitely quite a few oh shit moments sprinkled about this movie. Overall, peep it. It is a must for action junkies. Stay through the ending credits. It's been all over the feeds by now by the time we film this, so this part shouldn't be, too much of like, oh man. So it's not a spoiler, I don't think, but there is perfect setup for a sequel. Just stay through the ending credits. Make sure you peep that shit. Easy that this is gonna land on Netflix top 10 of the week. If not, it already takes that #1 spot by the time we shoot this. What time is it now? It's like, yeah, it's early Sunday morning. So yeah, the Old Guard, peep it, enjoy yourselves. Not for the kiddies. Leave the kiddies out there. But yeah, peep it. Old Guard, check it out. Next up in this episode's Real Rush Ticket, a Hulu exclusive. Hulu original. I think it was supposed to be put out by Neon first, but because of what's going on, that thou shalt not be fucking mentioned over and over and over. But lockdown and shit. There we go. We fucking just addressed the fucking elephant in the room, not monkey. The new joint called Palm Springs, starring our boy Andy Samberg, Kristen Milioti, and J.K. Simmons. This follows a wedding guest and the maid of honor who gets stuck in a one-day time loop. This is a new romantic comedy from the minds of The Lonely Island, along with Andy Samberg, his wrecking crew and shit, his road dogs and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is, as I stated in my check-in a couple nights ago, that it looked like an awesomely fucked up romantic Groundhog Day, and same as The Old Guard, it doesn't quite hit that, but it curves off to something even better, because it's all that to the extreme is what Palm Springs is. Raunchy at times, but thoroughly hilarious all the way through it. It's only like 90 minutes, and it's a good 90 minutes. And given the fact that it's like Groundhog Day, it's like a time loop movie, that can kind of be a hard genre to pull off without seeming too similar or too looped into or like the others in the same sense. Let that bake on your noodle for a second. Because I gotta let that bake on my noodle for a second. Or maybe I baked a little bit too much noodle and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yet I digress. That's why I have notes here. See, there was no digression. Because I don't know where I was going with that. But we come back to the fact that it's still an original take on the classic time loop genre. It's worth checking out just because of that. But I'm going to give you more reasons to check it out. The chemistry between Samberg and Milioti is magnetic, to say the very least. But J.K. Simmons, IMHO, brings the funniest moments of the film. And somewhat, the whole movie, it's somewhat aloof and fantasy-like. Kind of like Lonely Island's Brigsby Bear, which I peeped in season 2 of The Real Rush, but just reviewed for y'all a couple months ago as part of the lockdown. Do your search up there and find Brigsby Bear. Put it on the screen. That's what you gotta do. So it's kind of like Brigsby Bear, and it's also a little bit like, I felt, Wrist Cutter's A Love Story, which is a really fucking well done, dark, romantic comedy. If you haven't seen it or even heard of it, perhaps check that one out as well. But yeah, must see. This is a must see. Palm Springs is, and this is, we're doing it again, y'all. We're doing it again. There are 2 main event movies in this week's Real Rush tickets. So this is a co-main event. The co-main event is Palm Springs. That's one of them. That's one of them. There's 2. There's 2 this week. I kind of gave something away. The fact that there's 2. There could have been 3 or 4, or the rest of them could have been all co-main events. But that's not the case. There's only 2. Which one's going to come up next? But for right now, Palm Springs is one half of this week's Real Rush co-main event. My throat's actually kind of fucked up because I've been playing 2K20 WWE, that is, the last couple nights and recording my commentary. And apparently, that's what my commentary voice sounds like. So imagine doing this for a whole match throughout a whole goddamn pay-per-view. I have to post one of those one of these days. Like, maybe start making my own commentaried matches and posting them online. Since we're lacking like live crowd and live event shit. Just, if not for my own shits and giggles, maybe yours. But I don't know what the fuck that's got to do with Palm Springs. But yeah, Palm Springs. Definitely check it out. Must see y'all. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, something that we caught late last night and almost, to be quite honest with you, missed. Something said, check Prime Video one more time. I was actually supposed to film this shit last night. But something just said, check the Prime Video queue again. Just do a search on Prime Video again and see if the movie that we've been talking about for the last couple weeks, the one called Relic, dropped. Because when we finished watching The Old Guard, which was the last of 4 movies in a marathon that we did from Thursday night into Friday morning, Relic was not on Prime Video yet. So at that point, just kind of figured, looks like that's a lost cause. And then late Friday night, someone said, check it again. And it popped up. So we got the review here for y'all. So if you came here per my directions from last week, where we were supposed to have the Relic review, episode 93, but now, episode 94, as promised, we got that shit. Relic, not the Relic, as I keep saying to y'all. Not that badass shit from 1997. This is some new shit. 2020, 2K20, Relic. In Relic, the matriarch of a family goes missing, only to come back, just show back up a few days later. And, no, just not her normal self. And there may be some possible sinister forces within the house that are being responsible for her disappearance and her aloofness. This joint stars Emily Mortimer, Robin Nevin, and Bella Heathcote. And just from the trailer of this, it gave me like that almost Hereditary-ish, that Ari Aster-ish type vibe, right? This joint is only 90 minutes, and I found it to be a slow burn horror film, much in the similar vein, but not quite the same as Hereditary and Midsummer, both by Mr. Oster. Those are two films, by the way, that have set a standard in the new wave family horror. And if you've seen those two movies, you know what I mean by family horror. I don't mean like a movie that you watch with your family. You know, like round up the kiddies and get some fucking s'mores going and shit and pop this shit in. I still think it's hilarious that Hereditary ran a trailer by accident before Peter Rabbit in Australia, I believe, on Anzac Day 2 years ago. If you haven't heard about that story, look it up. It should be on, at least on Wikipedia. And as fucked up as it sounds, that shit is hilarious. Because I know I'd have been terrified out of my damn mind too if I was that young and saw the fucking trailer for that shit before a kid's movie. Yet I digress. That was not even a digression. So, where does Relic fall on that scale, right? It's not quite as traumatizing as either of those, as either Hereditary or Midsummer. It does have, however, a few jump-worthy or otherwise claustrophobic moments in it, and it's definitely enhanced by the cinematography of the movie, which adds this grimy, like moldy, fucking musty, morbid feel to it even more. And the final act, I must say, being topsy-turvy in a really good way, that left my skin crawling and my spine tingling. The ending, however, while still creepy, did leave some questions. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I think this is going to be one of those movies that hits people differently. Hence, it is a definite post-movie combo starter left to possible interpretation by viewers. And it does seem to be one of those movies that seems to warrant a second viewing to fully understand or quote-unquote get. But overall, it's definitely worth keeping for the rental price. That is $6. I think it's actually $7. No, it's $6. Excuse me, yeah. $6 on Prime Rental, on Prime Video Rental. And once again, I think this is going to be one that hits each viewer differently. Hence, this is this week's Real Rush Conversation Starter. So, if you peeped it, come back on here, let your boy, let your man know what you thought about Relic, what you liked about it, maybe what you didn't like about it, and we'll pop off from there. But for the time being, check out Relic, y'all. I got to go all over the goddamn place. Hitting them down. Slamming them down. There it comes. Slamming his pages around. Hitting it with the end of days. 1, 2. Digital said not tonight, motherfucker. That was a digression. Cheers. Like I just straight the next movie on the Real Rush ticket here this weekend when I went to go say the title of it here a second ago. It just blah, 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 like mush mouth all over this motherfucking place. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, all of them. Mush mouth, Dumb Donald, Rudy, Theo, all them motherfuckers. Vanessa, Denise, and little fat Peter that used to run around, and Bud and shit. That is another digression. Add that one to the list. Next movie up on this episode's Real Rush ticket is called John Lewis Good Trouble. It's a new documentary that just dropped. This chronicles the life and career of the civil rights activist turned congressman and his tireless, outspoken work and efforts into advocating for voters' rights, voting rights, civil rights, and so much more that he continues to do to this very day. This documentary, ovation worthy would be a supreme understatement to this joint. It's so motivational, highly inspirational. Once again, two understatements to this joint. definitely timely. I mean, you can't get any more dead on than that one. It's not only one of this year's best documentaries, but certainly one of the most important, if not the most important documentary to watch right now, following this broadcast, of course. What I love the most about this joint, and this ain't necessarily giving anything away, is just how Lewis's message can apply to anyone in any situation where they feel oppressed or otherwise held down. Hence, it's not just, even if you're not a political person, which I'm not a political person, as we've stated many times here on The Real Rush. It's not just, it doesn't, it'll still hit you. It'll still affect you. Because it's not just about political situations where you might be held down and whatnot. This pertains to overcoming any oppressive obstacle and the right way to stand up for what you believe in. So, John Lewis, Good Trouble, overall, must see. This is this week's second half of this week's Real Rush co-main events. Right here we got Palm Springs, and now we got John Lewis, Good Trouble Daddy. Right here on the Real Rush episode 94, $7 to rent on video on demand. I saw up on Prime Video, as we've been stating for many times over the last couple of weeks. That is our VOD of all things streaming service of choice. So fuck yeah, watch this with your family. And once again, if you didn't already see the warning right at the beginning of the movie, I know I just mentioned that. I said watch this movie with your family, but right before that I said fuck yeah. So yeah, fuck it, there you go. Fuck it, watch it with your family and get educated. Get educated. Learn something. Learn something. Come out this thing stronger that we all in together. Keep your learn on. John Lewis, Good Trouble. Second half of this week's co-rush. Co-main events. Co-rush main events. Whatever. You know what the hell I'm talking about. Because this time I know what the hell I'm talking about. And last but most certainly not least, on this episode's Real Rush ticket, is a joint that we've actually been waiting for quite some time. We saw this trailer a few times in the theaters before they went into cryostasis in mid-March. And we were actually about a week or two away from seeing it in theaters before they went into temporary cryostasis. This would have been playing at the Angelica or the Cinema Arts. It would have been awesome to still see on the screen. Speaking of which, we gotta go back to Ithaca real quick. And we're back from that, so you'll actually see what I just said during, you've already seen that. That's what happened earlier in this episode, what I just shot right there in regards to Ithaca, right there. Anywho, what was I actually stating about the movie that we were about to go into? Anywho, we were going to see this up at, that's right, so we were going to see this up at the Angelica or Cinema Arts in the very least. The name of this movie is called The Truth. And what initially sold me on this movie was not only the cast of Catherine Deneuve, Juliette Binoche, and Ethan Hawke, but it's written and directed by Hirokazu Koreeda, who directed 2018's Shoplifters, which did get nominated for Best Foreign Language Film of that year. Didn't win, that went to Roma, but it definitely deserved every bit of that nomination. So if you haven't seen Shoplifters, check that out. I highly recommend that. So that's what initially sold me on this joint. Now, what is The Truth all about? So it tells somewhat of a coming-of-age story of sorts, as it examines the strained relationship between a famous French actress and her daughter turned screenwriter, and how it comes to a head after the mother publishes some memoirs. It's definitely artsy, but not fartsy, and it's got its own sense of charm. I would say it's It's a dry charm, but acquired taste. And I'm gonna get to that point there. And actually, it said, yeah, it did seem a bit dry at parts. I got to it right there. It did seem at least to me just a bit dry at parts, but that does make it once again an acquired taste watch for your average viewer. This is something that the art house crowd will most certainly still dig. There is good chemistry between Deneuve and Binoche in this film. It didn't vibe with me nearly as much as Shoplifters. Maybe I went into it expecting a little bit too much here, but create a sense of family importance and bonds definitely makes it a worthy watch. Overall, once again, art house audiences will dig this the most, but don't completely write off this movie automatically, especially if it's not your taste. Put something different on your palette. Get something new. See something new. It's a decent family drama. It's a $7 video on demand rental here, and I still dug it. Once again, not nearly as much as Shoplifters, but once again, that acquired taste. And try it. If you're looking for something different than you've been trying to quote unquote escape, more or less, as far as domestic cinema goes, then the truth. We long awaited it, and it was there you go. That's a good gauge right there. We long awaited it, and it was still worth every moment of that wait. So, the truth. Now playing on video on demand. Check that joint out. And that is 5. So normally that's where I'd say this is a wrap, but you might be wondering, what the fuck is Greyhound? Because we did mention that we might possibly have that review for y'all this week. However, since Greyhound is only playing on Apple TV Plus, or Apple TV, or whatever the hell it's called, and we do not own any Apple products, the insanely expensive fucking Roshtron 90 billion trillion is not an Apple product, nor is it Apple compliant. At least no way that we've been able to figure out to do that, at least safely, without jailbreaking any shit. That'd be nice. Not that we condone that kind of action here on The Real Rush. I mean, do what you gotta do, but hence, we don't have the review for Greyhound. And your boy's still been missing out on the Beastie Boys story here, man. So, hopefully, I read that they're supposed to be releasing that for most services by the end of this year. So that was an article from like April. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, hopefully if you came here for the Greyhound review, I do apologize about that inconvenience. Hopefully we can find a workaround to that shit sometime in the near future. But for now, no Greyhound review for you. And that, my friends, is a wrap to episode 94 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. What's going to be coming up on episode 95 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube next weekend? We're going to have reviewed for y'all Cutthroat City. That's a new joint by the RZA. Sold already. It is a new joint. Now, this is a possibility. This joint is called The Silencing. It is dropping on DirecTV Cinema in the next couple days, on the 16th. However, I did read that it's also not supposed to drop on any other video on demand service until August 14th. So unless we somehow get lucky and lock it down with some shit, then that's a possibility for next weekend. But that's what we'll have a review for y'all next weekend on episode 95 of The Real Rush. But before then, it's the third Friday of the month Bandit Show, y'all. We've been taking it virtual, given everything that's been going on. Hence, our shit has been free to watch, y'all. Our shit has been free to watch. All you got to do is go to the website to get the info on how to watch us via Zoom. We'll be going live for y'all this Friday, July 17th at 7:30 p.m. You want to make sure that you get all registered and logged into Zoom at least like 15-20 minutes beforehand, just to make sure that you can work out any possible bugs, work out any possible technical difficulties on your end and shit. Get comfortable so we can come to your homes literally for free and help you laugh your asses off. Once again, the website stagecoachtc.com. That's the Stagecoach Theater Company out in Ashburn, Virginia. Out in Ashburn, Virginia, yo. Once again, that website is Stagecoach, T as in Tom, C as in Coach.com. Check out the website for more info and for other shows that are being held at this time virtually by the Stagecoach Theater Company. Don't miss us this Friday, y'all. That's before episode 95. But in the meantime, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that, feel free to type those on into the comments section of this YouTube page where you are viewing this week's episode right here, right now. To everybody who has subscribed to The Real Rush on YouTube thus far, thank you for having done so. If you haven't done so yet, thus far, or yet, whatever, what the fuck are you waiting for? You want to be the first to know when your boy drops a new episode? And you can still spread love these days, ladies and gents, even though you're not supposed to be hugging up on one another and shit like that. But when you go do that, virtually hug a motherfucker and tell them about The Real Rush. Spread the word of The Real Rush like everybody should be spreading love these days, y'all. So hug a motherfucker and let them know that no dude does movie reviews and stream of consciousness shit on YouTube every week on the dot, son, on the road to 100 episodes up in this joint. And don't forget that no movie that I've ever known has ever had an expiration date. Hence, any movie that you want to know about, that I thought about, that I gave my thoughts on, and get a good, honest-to-God review of, The Real Rush does have replay value. All you gotta do is go up to the top of the screen here, just as I think we did earlier in this episode, but fuck it, we gonna do it again. Go to the top of the screen here, type in the YouTube search bar, in quotation marks, The Real Rush, followed by, outside of quotation marks, the name of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom! Instant movie review on demand for you, because your man John Dub and The Real Rush got y'all covered for life, son! Where's my wand? And you can follow your boy on Instagram. My live movie check-ins and updates as they occur. And you can follow your man's at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. For The Real Rush, ladies and gents, I am your man John Dub. Thank you once again for tuning in to The Real Rush this week. Enjoy yourselves. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of one another, take care of each other, y'all. Chill out. Relax during these times. Don't try to get too terribly stressed out. Do what you gotta do to get back on the lax, on the low down, baby. That's right. Have fun, y'all. Love John Dub. Love J-Dub. Love Dub. Dub and love. You get that dub in love. Dub and love. That dub in love. Dub and love. Toot-toot-poo. We'll see you next weekend. Peace out. You don't want any sugar on your plate. Don't. When you fucking get your beefsteak. Don't. It just won't even look that right. Don't. So you want to keep that kind of bullshit out of sight. 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 I can't be on a Pepsi high and trying to sing about Coke. Doesn't work like that. That's like being on Coke and talking about like shrooms. Like it's completely different. Did I just compare Pepsi and Coke to shrooms and actual Coke? I believe I just did. What's happening, y'all? Behold, for it is the man bringing forth to you the movie Boogaloo. The movie Boogaloo champion, John Dove.